Story 1. Everything in my life that causes me anxiety and depression or gives me worry can be fixed with money. Money also enables you to do the things that make you happy or discover things that make you happier. Another popular quote is, "Money can't buy happiness." It absolutely can and does. Story 2. I have money issues and it's really depressing. So I can't say money doesn't make me happy. When I buy things I like, I feel happiness. When I'm able to treat my family, I feel happiness. So yes, Story 3, money solves most of the problems that people have. Not all problems, but not having to worry constantly about finances would be such a serious stress reliever for most folks. Story 4. I do information technology for the ultra-rich in Los Angeles, and from my experience of what I have seen, money gives you all the options and opportunities to be happy. However, if someone fundamentally is not happy or is not settled, no amount of money will make them happy. It is easier to be happier, of course, when you do not have to worry about any financial issues with anything, but I have seen some miserable millionaires and billionaires who are just unhappy and unkind people. Story 5. Absolutely. Money buys happiness, ladies and gentlemen. I can afford a modest house with money. I can invest in the stock market to make more money with money. I can fly to Monaco and Tahiti with money. I can buy a hot tub and install a backyard pool with money. I can afford lavish dates and weddings with money. Jordan Belfort said that there's no nobility in poverty, and he was right. Story 6. I think enough money to pay bills and have no debt while having enough to enjoy hobbies is ideal. I think once you go past a certain point, money becomes the only point, and eventually the power lots of money give you will corrupt. Story 7. No worries about rent. No worries about bills. No worries about retirement. Yes, money does bring happiness because it gives you time to focus on things that matter. Story 8. People who say money cannot buy happiness are trying to replace something else with money. Money does not have any inherent value. It just gives you options. Whether you choose options that actually make you happy is up to each individual. They have also probably never been truly poor. Story 9. Money buys you time and freedom, which allows you to do what you want and need. You'll have time to pursue hobbies, arts, sports, and leisure, and the means to pay for it. It will allow you to provide for your family and friends, which, if you know what you're doing, at least to a degree, buys you love, adoration, and social acceptance. You need to be smart about it, but it definitely makes you happy. Story 10. No. Money does not make you happy. A lot of money makes you happy. No matter what problems you have, business problems, family problems, love life problems, friendship problems, self-esteem problems, mental problems, medical problems, grief and heartache. If God gave you $100 billion right now, all your problems would be solved, and you would be very happy. Story 11. I do not think money makes you happy, but it can make life easier, which relieves stress. For instance, not stressing over bills or groceries and being able to do things you want to do. That part can make you happier. Story 12. Of course, laugh out loud. Absolutely delusional not to believe so. If you live in modern society and you have an excess of the agreed medium of exchange, money, you can afford immaterial yet expensive things like feeling secure, calm, and relaxed, which are necessary preconditions for happiness. Story 13. Money can enhance happiness in life through material possessions or events, but I believe happiness is about the people you surround yourself with and your mindset. Story 14. It depends how much. Below the magic number, you encounter issues such as rent, food, and other basic needs. Above that income level, those issues are replaced with different challenges, most notably spoiled children. Story 15. Yes. Most of us trade our time for money. If we have money, then there is no need to do that. We will have more time to spend on things that make us happy. Story 16. No and yes. The object doesn't make you happy just by having it. Being able to spend on things like trips with family and friends, and not only on essentials, is what creates happiness. Happiness is moments that make memories. Story 17. I don't think it makes you happy. It definitely helps though. I know I'm happier now, making a decent salary and having some spare each month. compared to when I was working a backbreaking minimum wage job. Story 18. Yes, my stress is about bills, mortgage, car breaking down, on top of working constantly and never being able to afford to stop. Money would literally solve all my problems, take away all my stress, and allow me to move to a better place and do what I've always wanted to. That absolutely would make me happy every damn day. Story 19. There is empirical evidence to support money leading to happiness to an extent. It relieves anxieties when you have enough money so that you do not have to worry about bills, medical expenses, rent, or food. Once you hit this threshold, which is around $100,000 annually, anything beyond this will not lead to happiness. The phrase "money doesn't buy happiness" more so means that the endless pursuit of more will not lead to fulfillment. Story 20. Whenever I watch Real Housewife type shows, these people have heaps and loads of money. Then they get together, yell at each other, cry, and carry on. They appear to be miserable. I will never have that level of unlimited wealth, but I believe I could handle it better than the housewives. I'm almost completely positive, just can't confirm. Story 21. Money might not directly make you happy, but it sure helps in avoiding unhappy things like the anxiety and depression surrounding crushing bills and debt. Story 22. Yes, being able to live comfortably makes people happy. Being able to afford groceries makes people happy. It is not so much money itself, but the things it can buy. Story 23. I grew up poor and now I'm not. It's very hard to be sad for long. Last month I got bored and went to Amelia Island for 2 weeks. Ate well, stayed in luxury, got some tan, and bought new clothes. I'm back at my main home now, homesick for my third home and fifth home. I think tomorrow I'll change homes and change my view, neighbors, and favorite grocery store for a few weeks. Hard to be sad living like this. Story 24. Yes. Not because it is a source, but the means. True happiness comes from personal purpose, and to achieve purpose you need to have the right circumstances to keep you straight on that path. While money won't cause this, it is a tool to achieve this in multiple ways. First and foremost, it allows you to cover your basic needs. You can't chase your purpose without your basic survival needs met. Second, it gives you the opportunity to go for that which you desire in every shape and form. Want to look good? You can pay for a diet and gym. Want to start a business or a family? It is a starting point that makes it easy for anyone to focus solely on their purpose. Lastly, it allows you to cover for holes and weaknesses in your path for purpose. Want to be a musician, and you have talent but are unattractive? Plastic surgery. Want to be a politician but you have a speech impediment? You can pay experts to help you overcome your limitations. Money is the modern definition of freedom, which makes it a paradox. That's why almost nobody feels truly free. Story 25. No, only because humans can only have a certain amount of happiness until it becomes normal to them. Hence, why rich people just want to get more rich. They lose the ability to become excited over things that only rich people experience when it becomes their norm. Obviously, being financially stable is beneficial to mental health, but you really only know what you have when you lose it. Story 26. I think it can be the window to free up certain issues to lead to happiness, but if it's not respected, and you don't respect self-worth in what you do, then you'll still end up unhappy. Story 27. Yes, absolutely. I'm 36 now and I'm finally at a point in my life where I have money. I'm not crazy rich, but I have a good job with a good income. I've managed to buy and sell houses at the right time and work my way up the property ladder. My husband makes a similar income to me and has also made some good property investments. We are in the process of building our dream house right now and we will be mortgage-free. Up until a few years ago, I was always struggling with money. I always had bills to pay. I had to be careful with my spending. I had to plan everything in advance to make sure I'd have enough money for gasoline and extra things that might come up. I had to check my bank account before a purchase because a bill might have come out and drained it. I don't have to do any of that anymore. If I want something within reason, I simply buy it and enjoy it. If I want to go to dinner or a concert or have a night out, I just do those things. I don't have to create an Excel spreadsheet to figure out how I'm going to afford it or sell half my belongings on Facebook Marketplace. I can just live. I can enjoy life. Story 28. Lack of money is typically the most common source of my stressors in life, so having more money would definitely allow me to be happier. So I wouldn't say that money itself makes me happy, but the lack of it can definitely limit how happy I can be. The happiest times in my life were when I was making more money than I was spending. Story 29. It 100% does. If you have everything else, good marriage, kids, health, etc., if you want those things, then yes, money makes it all easier, less stressful, more fun, gives more freedom and fewer restrictions, all of which equals happier. Anyone that says otherwise is unhappy anyway and hasn't completed the other things in life. Story 30. In itself, money doesn't make you happier. It does remove stress that makes you unhappy. It helps resolve insecurities that make you unhappy. It allows you to help others, which is rewarding. Story 31. In my opinion, anyone who can say with a straight face that money does not buy happiness has never faced a lack of money significant enough to cause unhappiness. Story 32. They have actually done studies on this. Money can buy happiness up to a point. More money makes people happier until they have their needs met. So if you have $1 million, making another million won't make you that much happier. On the other hand, find someone with only $50 and give them $5,000, and you have changed their life even if it is a lot less money. Story 33. Money allows for but does not guarantee more time, less stress, access to opportunities, and access to resources. If you are unable to use money to get yourself closer to what makes you happy, then you have more serious problems than the average person. Story 34. I feel to a point, but there's an amount of money at which having more money basically makes no difference to you. It's confusing to me why anyone chooses to continue stockpiling money at that point, because literally who is it for? I'm talking about rich people who couldn't spend their salary on their own if they tried to. I truthfully cannot get into the heads of those people. Like, do you just hate other people? Story 35. All the money can't revive the ones we lost or fix physical and mental disabilities. You can be miserable and lonely in a big mansion or a tiny hut. Story 36. Yes. Maslow's hierarchy of needs proves it. Imagine not needing to worry about the bottom half of it completely, more time and energy to deal with the top half of it. Story 37. It is definitely a major component of happiness. It's very hard to get your basic needs for shelter and security met when you don't have enough of it. Story 38. Money removes problems and obstacles. For example, last year I was earning more than I knew what to do with, but not enough to move myself into the life that I want, not enough to buy property where I want the lifestyle. Today, I have an unsecured and uncertain future income that's about 2/3 of that. I'm well and truly comfortable and not struggling, and it's also not go and splurge money, but it's the uncertainty of it being there next month that is the cause of all the anxiety. If I knew 100% that I would have that income indefinitely for the rest of my life, and there was no concern with it being suddenly taken away, I'm certain I could be truly happy as the anxiety wouldn't be there, and I could do things without feeling like they're risks. However, this level of income also doesn't give me the ability to have the life I want on my doorstep. If I had enough money to buy property in the location I want and had this level of guaranteed income, I'd be content. At double this income, I can't see myself not being able to create a life where I'm happy. Story 39. More money, more problems. Your ability to make more money usually comes with more responsibilities. My life was better when I didn't have anything. Wish I knew it back then. Story 40. No. I heard someone explain the difference between pleasure and happiness. They said that the things you can buy with money bring you pleasure, which is short-lived, while happiness is something long-lasting. Story 41. I don't think just having money makes you happy, but having money gives you the opportunity to have fun. For example, Bill works 12-hour days, 5 days a week, as a laborer. He has 2 days off when he isn't taking overtime to help cover bills. When he is home, he is tired and has maybe an hour with his wife and kids before everyone goes to bed after work. Bill makes $50,000 a year, works very hard, and is tired, but this doesn't make him unhappy per se. Now let's compare him to Charles, who works 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, as a software engineer with 1 day virtual at home. He has 2, technically 3, days off and does no overtime. When he is home, he has 4 to 5 hours with his family after work. He makes around $150,000 a year, but this doesn't make him unhappy or happy. Finally, we have Greg, whose father is a multimillionaire and is grooming him to one day take over the business. While Greg may work hard, the hours are flexible as his father owns the business. He can take extensive breaks for vacations, owns nice cars, lives in a nice home, and has an overall good life. Looking at these three examples, one would assume that Bill is the least happy, followed by Charles, and finally Greg as the happiest. While Greg has more opportunities to do fun things and has the most downtime, it doesn't necessarily correlate. Most rational people would prefer the life of Greg, but that's after already living their current life. Appreciation for the money is what makes the money so fulfilling. If Bill won the lottery, he'd be on cloud nine. No stress, no piling bills or debt, family vacations, nice cars, etc. But it's because he appreciates his previous struggle and the newfound money. There are many things at play here, but I believe that appreciation for the money is important, and the opportunity for having downtime in a world where we are worked to the bone is the biggest.